Hi there, thanks for tuning in to our channel, Autism, Our Journey. In this video, I just want to share some footage of some of the activities that Dylan and I did to kick off fall and to entertain him over fall break. Here, our school district takes a fall break in October. It's usually 3 days off of school, and naturally Dylan gets a little bit bored, and so looking for things to do that will entertain him and keep him happy and occupied is sometimes challenging. But here's some examples of some of the things we did over fall break, and share with me some of the ideas of how you keep your child entertained over school breaks. And I know it's challenging probably for you as well. Share those with me in the comments. I appreciate hearing that. Any ideas you have might be something Dylan might enjoy as well. So hope you enjoy some of this footage coming up, and I'll explain what we're doing as so hope you enjoy some of this footage coming up. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that recently Dylan has been pretty obsessed with Halloween and pumpkins. He talks about it a lot, and whenever he gets into a particular mood, he's pretty fixated on it. So he asks for pumpkins and Halloween, and of course it's not Halloween yet. We're about early mid-October right now, getting close to Halloween, but it's not Halloween yet. But he also, I think, gets confused because he also, when he's talking about pumpkins and Halloweens, he's talking about parties and pools. And naturally, in Oklahoma, there's not too many pools open around Halloween. Most of them are closed because it's pretty cool outside. So one of the first things that we did to try to see if it might be something Dylan would enjoy was we took him to a pumpkin patch. Grandpa and I took him to a local pumpkin patch, and he walked around. He enjoyed that. Grandpa encouraged him to pick out a pumpkin. He did. We took it home, and while I took sister to guitar lessons, Grandpa and Dylan carved the pumpkin. And so he seemed to enjoy that. He enjoyed helping Grandpa scoop out the insides of the pumpkin and watching Grandpa carve the pumpkin. And I got a cute picture here of Dylan with the carved pumpkin. But as you'll notice in this next picture, Dylan's favorite thing was the candy. And it's pretty funny because his tastes have changed over time. In the past, his favorite candy or chocolate candy was white chocolate Kit Kat bars. Now he's decided that his favorite candies are the Reese's peanut butter cups. So Grandma had plenty of those in stock, so he was happy about that. So as I mentioned, we just finished up fall break here, which is 3 days off of school, and that can be pretty long and naturally challenging to keep Dylan entertained. Since he had been asking for a pool, I decided that on one of the first days we were out of school, ahead of the weekend, I decided to make a reservation at a local hotel. It was a Wednesday night, so the price was a little bit reduced. It's not peak season right now, but also hopefully, we hoped, and it turned out to be true, it wouldn't be very crowded there. But the plan was to not really spend the night because I was on my own that night, and I didn't really want to run the risk of staying at a hotel with Dylan by myself. If for some reason he were to get up in the middle of the night and wander around the hotel, I didn't want to risk that. But we did utilize the pool at the hotel as much as we could. We checked in early. We came in and checked out the room. And then we went straight to the pool, and we used the pool for as much as we could that evening. We went home and spent the night, and then we came back the next morning, had a little bit of free breakfast at the hotel, and then used the pool until checkout time again. One thing I kind of wish was the case, and I don't know if this is the same for you guys, but we don't have a lot of indoor year-round pools in our area that aren't a YMCA or a gym. And gyms tend to be pretty busy, and if people are using a gym pool, I know that they like to use the gym pool for exercise and don't want to be bothered by a kid jumping in the water and swimming around and being loud, so we don't do that. The only other alternative for year-round in-ground pools would be the local hotels, and I've yet to find a hotel that will make a deal for an autism family where we could just pay a small fee, 20 bucks for the day, and come and use the pool and not have to pay a room rate since we're not planning on using the room. But in this case, since it was a weeknight, it's not peak time, I got a reasonable deal, and if we only do this once in a while, then it's worth it. Dylan had a blast. So I'll show you some of the footage of us checking in, Dylan swimming, and having a great time. Well, as soon as I mentioned that we were going to the pool, Dylan grabbed his goggles, and it was goggles on in the car. So he wore his goggles on the trip all the way to the hotel, which is really pretty cute. There's a couple of pictures of us checking into the room. Of course, he was pretty curious about the room, checked out the refrigerator, checked out the bed, but as you can see, he's ready to go, and all we're waiting on at this point is for Sister to put on her swimsuit. What are we getting ready to do? What
are we going to do, Dylan?
Okay, what are we going to do?
Where are we going?
Swimming pool.
The swimming pool. That's going to be fun. Are you excited?
Swimming pool.
Swimming pool? So what we found over time is when we take Dylan to a public pool, he spends a little bit of time kind of walking around, and I call it getting his bearings, or preparing himself for whether he's ready or not to swim. So you can see in the footage coming up that Dylan spends a little bit of time getting his bearings, kind of scoping out the place, trying to decide if he's ready to swim, and it really doesn't do any good to push him. When he's ready to get in the water, he'll get in the water. Are you going to jump in? This particular pool is a really cool pool. It's partially indoors and partially outdoors, and thankfully the kids love it. Dylan and his sister Caitlin, they love it. Doesn't matter the temperature outside. Grandpa and I were cold. It was in the real low 60s and pretty breezy. And for us, we wanted our long sleeve shirts and jeans on, and the other two are swimming outside and they're just loving it.
I bet I can do a handstand down the steps. I bet I can do a handstand. Oh. You guys are like paparazzi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
I think he beat you. So after a couple of hours, we took a break for dinner. So we went back up to the room, and Grandpa and Sister went to go grab some dinner right across the street and bring it back to the room. In the meantime, Dylan took a break. he found a rubber fish soap dish, which was really cool. It's a little soap dish and it was rubber, so it wasn't breakable. It was pretty pliable. And he walked around with that for a long time, talking about the fact that it was a fish. And I took some footage. It was really cute. Of course, he stopped doing it about the time I recorded, but it was pretty cute of him making the fish swim and thinking the fish was thirsty, so he gives him a drink of his pop.
No.
Fish, pop.
Fish drinking pop?
Black pop.
Make him swim again.
Show Papa how it swims.
Show
Let
us.
me see. Show Papa.
Swam.
Yeah. Swimming.
Now after the break time, then we hit the pool again, and this time the kids decided that they wanted a hot tub. Okay, do it. Do it. I'll push you in. Back to the hot tub. So all in all, the hotel pool was worth the money, every penny of it. There wasn't hardly anybody there. We weren't bothering anybody, so everybody had a great time. A little bit of footage here of some of the other activities that Dylan did over fall break, and a lot of it was his favorite activities, which really is, one of them is tablet time. So here's a little bit of footage of Dylan listening to his tablet at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and it was pretty cute. At one point we caught him carrying around Donald Duck, and while he was sitting with his tablet listening to songs on his tablet, he was making Donald Duck dance next to him. Of course, by the time I grabbed my camera to record it, he just basically stopped doing it, so you had to catch it quick, but Donald Duck is dancing. And we spent a lot of time outside over fall break. Here it's been beautiful weather. Haven't had any rain to speak of, but the temperatures have been in the mid to upper 60s and sunny, and we just had a great time outside. Dylan likes to walk around in the yard, collect leaves, especially the ones that are dried up, and crinkle them, or collect wads of grass that's starting to dry up for the season and let it blow around in the wind. You can see him doing that in the video here. So we enjoyed a lot of times just wandering around outside. So I hope you enjoyed watching some of this footage of our activities over the last week or so for fall break. And if you haven't done it already, be sure and click the subscribe button here. And there's a couple of recommended videos here on the left that you might enjoy watching as well. So as always, thanks for watching, tuning in, and sharing the videos to anyone you think might see some value. And enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks.